Hey everybody, this is Adam White with Prosperly.com. On this episode of Prosperly TV, we're going to talk about buying websites in the post-Google Panda and Penguin update era. I'm also going to show you a website that I found that I thought was a good Prosperly type website, and I'll walk you through that site and what I liked about it, and that's the kind of stuff that you can look for when you're looking for a Prosperly website. And then I'm also going to tell you about a website that I recently purchased and how things are going with that as well. So first, to get started, buying a website post-Penguin update. Now, if you don't know what that is, back in, I think it was April, Google came out with a big update that really targeted websites that have unnatural-looking backlinks, and right before that had targeted AdSense sites. And so if you had a site that was only about AdSense, you lost a lot of rankings and traffic, and if you had a site that had unnatural-looking backlinks, you got penalized and lost a lot of rankings as well. So a lot of what's happening is you're seeing a lot of websites come up for sale, and a lot of people they don't want to show you how much they were making before compared to how much they're making now. They're saying, oh, I just barely put analytics on here back in June or whatever. And what they're doing is they're lying to you because they don't want you to see that they've had a huge drop-off and that they're penalized. So having said that, if a site is more than a year old and they don't have analytics, they're lying to you. They do have it. And you need to be really careful with dealing with someone like that, because if they're trying to hide something from you, then that means that it's too much of a risk to take that site on. So make sure that they have analytics going before April of 2012, because if they don't, then they've taken it off and they're just telling you they don't, but they really do. Now, if it's a newer site that was started after that, then obviously they wouldn't have that. But just be very leery of somebody that's saying, "Oh, I don't have any analytics before then, sorry," or any AdSense or any income revenue proof either. That's the biggest thing when you're looking at sites to buy. If you go on Flippa and you see something that looks good and they say, "Sorry, here's from May, here's my analytics from May till it's current," then just be very leery of that and make sure that you do your due diligence. And if you still feel good about it, great. But I'd just be very cautious when you're dealing with somebody that's probably trying to hide something from you. Now, I'm not saying everybody is. There's people that are honest out there that really didn't have analytics on there back then, but it's not likely. I mean, it's a very common thing, especially someone that's buying and selling websites. They know to have analytics on there all the time, and they put it on right at the beginning. So that's the thing you want to be looking out for, the post-Penguin and Panda update era when you're buying websites. And the great thing about buying websites now is because people's revenue has dropped, you can get a steal. You can get websites for really cheap because they've lost a lot of the income that they had. So anyway, good time to buy if you know how to fix up sites the right way. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at one of the sites that I found. This is actually found on Flippa, and I'm going to show you a lot of the characteristics I liked, what I didn't like, and why I actually bid on the website to buy it. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that now.
Okay, so in the last episode I showed you two websites that looked really good, that visually were just nice looking sites, but gave you reasons why I would avoid them. Now I just want to clarify on that. I'm not saying they were bad websites and the sites aren't legitimate businesses and that you couldn't do well with them. I'm just saying from a Prosperly standpoint, I wouldn't necessarily buy those because of how much time they seem to take when they would run. Now, as you're seeing this is a site that I actually came across last week that I did like and actually bid on. So that's how much I liked it. Now, I guess kind of the first thing that jumped out at me was the actual name of the site, which is motorcycleinsurancequote.org. Now, the reason why I like that is because that's an exact match domain, or in other words, that's a domain that the phrase is actually something people will search on Google. Motorcycle insurance quote is a phrase people search on Google. So that was the first thing that jumped out at me because Google gives preference to exact match domains. I think it's a flaw in their algorithm, to be perfectly honest with you. But they do that because, if you have a business like McDonald's and they own McDonald's.com and someone searches McDonald's, they're going to show McDonald's.com because they assume that's what they're looking for. So if you just get a phrase that people search for, then you're going to have a better chance of ranking for that phrase. Now, this is a .org, and .com is probably the best way to go, but even so, you can do well with a .net or .org or even .info. It just gives you a little bit of an advantage. So that was the first thing that really jumped out at me. And then it says it's high ranking and profitable. So it says that they actually already rank. They do rank for that phrase, motorcycle insurance quote. And I went and checked, and sure enough, they do rank that. It says they rank number 3 in Google for the term motorcycle insurance quote. And then let's see. Let's look at the revenue details. It says that the net profit 3-month average is $395. So this guy doesn't actually even have revenue attached here, proof, and most people will. So you have to place a bid to get revenue proof, and so I did that, and came back to, I think up to this month he'd probably made maybe $170 or something like that, and so it wasn't on track to make $395 this month. So it's gone down a little bit. But still, I figured, if it's averaging $200 a month, a good price on this would probably be around $2,300. So anyway, the bidding kind of went crazy on that. It's you can see that it sold at public auction for $3,000 with 44 bids. Well, the backstory of that is it actually had a buy it now price for $3,000 and got to 44 bids before somebody just finally said, you know what, forget it, I'm just going to pay the $3,000 to make sure I get this. I think that was probably a little bit overpriced for this site, which is why I didn't do that. But, if somebody really wanted it and felt like they could make their money back, that's great. Now let's just go ahead and look at the site itself. It's here's what it looks like. So they actually would get paid anytime when someone would put their zip code in here and hit submit, they'd get some amount of money. So it actually was a pretty cool, it's not a high barrier to actually getting someone to do that. I mean, they don't have to fill out a form or anything. They got paid on the submit, which was, it's not going to be paid much. Obviously you're going to get paid more if you do it on a per registration or per submitting a form. But at least, it's easy to get somebody to do that, especially, it's very prominent here at the beginning. One thing that I would probably do on this to change it would be to add that same form somewhere else down here, because some people may not even look at that. Their eyes will naturally just go down to here, maybe down to this video. So maybe I'd have one right down there or have one right here in the middle of this content. So that's something I would do differently if I own this site. But anyway, good. It's a good Prosperly type site. You just bring people in through rankings. They fill out, they go here, submit. It goes off to an insurance company, and you get paid. So 100% automated. That's the kind of stuff we like. Has really good rankings as well. So that's what really drew me to this website and why I thought it'd be a good one. And I know in the insurance industry, obviously there's a lot of money to be made. So good affiliate programs. So that's pretty much, those are the things that really stood out to me. And I just felt like I could take that and even probably get even more traffic to it. And like I said, like I even showed you those couple things on the site that I would change, just simple things, but it's amazing how much of a difference it really does make. So that's motorcycleinsurancequote.org. Now that's the type of site that I look for and find valuable when I'm looking on Flippa, and a site that, that's why he got his full asking price of $3,000, because other people see that they can take this and make it automated and, start making money with it without having to put a lot of effort into it.
So hopefully that was helpful. As you're looking for websites, you'll see kind of the characteristics and things that you want to be looking for to make a site a Prosperly site, make it automated and everything. Now, finally, what I want to talk about is, a lot of people ask me, I saw that you had a course on how to do all this stuff, and does that mean you're not doing this anymore? Does that mean you've given up on it? It doesn't work, so now you're just selling the information on what you did? And in answer to that question, no, I still do it. I still love to do it, and I think it's an awesome way to make money. In fact, it's way easier than selling a course. I can promise you that. So I recently actually just bought a new website, just got control of it last week, and it was making about $800 a month. I paid under $15,000. I won't tell you the exact amount, and have increased. I got the site, made improvements to. I haven't really done any SEO on it yet. I mean, I've done a little bit, but that hasn't. It's been so fast that hasn't taken effect yet. But I have made some changes as far as how to monetize this site and just conversions. I always talk about you want to make sure you're increasing conversions, because you can always make more money on a site without any extra traffic just by increasing conversions. So that's the very first thing I did, was try to increase conversions, and sure enough, putting in these monetization methods and doing it in a much more user-friendly way has increased the amount of revenue to where we're on pace to make, I think, $1,200 or $1,400 this month. Instead of the $800 that I have been making. So instantly I almost doubled the amount of money that the site makes. So it's just if you just follow those methods and do it right, you can make very quick turnarounds and we have a site now that's worth almost twice as much as we paid for it. You know, we can turn around and sell it for $20,000 or $30,000. So anyway, that's just wanted to let you know. Still doing it. It works. It's awesome. So if you're thinking about doing it, it's still a great time to buy. So that's it for this episode of Prosperly TV. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Leave comments below and let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any questions. And don't forget to like us as well. And follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @AdamWhiteFilm. Thanks, guys.